Namaste. Hi there, it's me, Stacey Lei, and of course, Miss Foxy Brown. Welcome to yoga, and thank you for joining me. Today, I'll be sharing two very traditional series from yoga, the Sun Salutation and the Moon Salutation. And for today's class, you'll need a mat. You might use a block. If you don't have a block, you can have a thick cushion from your sofa. You may or may not use the block, so it's optional. And a small hand towel from your kitchen or from your bathroom to help you stay a little more comfortable when we're down on our mats. It's also optional. The exciting part of today's class is we'll be focusing a lot on our feet and on our hands, our toes and our fingers. We'll be working on releasing stored up, pent up, stressful energy, connecting with ourselves from the inside, and really focusing on our postures. So I'm really looking forward to today's session, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's begin in the center of your space, and I'd like you to begin with your feet hip distance apart. You can reach your hands behind you and interlace your fingers. That will help you to keep your shoulders back as you look down at your feet. With your feet in parallel, I'd like you to lift your toes up off the floor and then relax them back down again. So lift your toes, only your toes, up and down. Now I asked you to bring your feet to parallel, so they're even. You're making the number 11 with your feet, toes pointed forward as you lift them up. And now lift them up and spread your toes wide. See if you can create space between all 10 toes, and then relax. And you'll probably have better luck at this if you're looking at your toes and talking to them. Really connecting with your toes. Bringing your brain all the way down to your feet. Let's do this one more time. Lift up, spread your toes, and now relax your toes. Okay. Bring your hands to your sides. Allow your shoulders to open and your chest to widen. And now rock your ankles out gently to the pinky edges of your feet. And now roll your ankles in. So out and in a few times. Once again, connecting and bringing our brain all the way down to our ankles. And we typically don't notice our ankles until they hurt. But spending this time to increase the circulation and mobility of our ankles can help give us better balance and better security when we're walking or moving around, exercising. Bring your feet so that they're flat. You can bring your hands to your hips if you'd like. Lift your right heel up and then down, like this, up and down. During today's class, I'll call this a foot fold, where you lift your heel off the ground and move on to the ball of your foot. Now keep this one up and move across the entire archway. So you're using even more than just the ball of your foot, but the whole front arch of your foot. Okay, lower your heel down and let's do it on the other side. Lift your left heel up and down. Remember, it's called a foot fold, and I'll refer to that during our class today. Hold this one up, and now roll across the entire arch. Now, as you're starting to connect with your feet, let's start exhaling. Long, deep breaths, audible breaths. Okay, now plant both feet down. Bring your arms by your sides once again. Lift your right heel, and now switch and lift your left heel. Your right heel and your left heel. And as you switch, you'll put a little bit of your body weight onto that foot. And this will start to prepare your feet to be in a weight-bearing foot fold, which we'll use throughout class today. Keep going, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now let's repeat those exercises quickly. Lift your toes up, spread them out wide. Let's do this a few more times. We hold a lot of tension in our feet, believe it or not, and in our toes. Anytime you've ever had stress or tension or a scare, You've scrunched up your toes and your fingers, maybe without even noticing it. So as we open up our toes, we release tension and stress that's held up in our body. You could even say, I release you now. Relax, rock out, and roll in. Be gentle with yourself. This is another place, our ankles, where we hold tension and stress. We keep ourselves rigid sometimes when we're afraid. So once again, you could say, I release you now, if you're holding on to anything. Relax your feet down. Pedal through your footfold. We're releasing tension out of the long arch of our feet. This is a place of our foot that corresponds to digestion and elimination. So you could think about digestion of food and of thoughts, ideas, things that you might be holding on to. You could say, I release you now. Okay, here's our next exercise, and this one's important. Flatten your feet so that your feet are flat on the floor. Look down. Create the number 11 once again. Lift your toes up and spread them out wide, just like we did before. And now place your toes down and suction cup the ground with your toes. And then release. So I'd like you to do this a few more times, but watch your toes. If you've noticed that you've curled your toes under and cannot see your toenails, then you've curled under too far. Okay, that would be like you're creating a claw shape like a bird has, and you're not a bird. You want to use your little toes as if they're little fingers. So kind of create little monkey toes holding onto the ground and start to feel yourself making a connection with the earth. This time, grab on, hold on, and imagine that you've got roots growing out of your feet, connecting you to the earth, just like the trees. You could say, I am connected, and release. Hold on and say, I am connected, and feel the connection. This is what real yoga is, when we mentally and physically connect. Release. Let's do that one more time. Find your roots and connect. And now release. All right, bring your feet together. Now we'll use those skills as we move through a sun salutation. You'll release, you'll connect, and you'll stay focused on your feet. Okay? All right, bring your hands to your heart, please. Inhale deeply and exhale. Lift your toes up, spread them wide, and now find your roots. Feel your roots, feel connected. Squeeze your thighs up off your knees. Engage your seat and engage your core. Let's take one more deep breath in here. And a nice long audible exhale. Bring your thumbs to your shoulders. Reach your arms up overhead. This is the mountain pose. Spread your fingers very wide and press your thumbs back behind you. Now open up your elbows and start to roll your shoulders back. Okay. As you're rolling your shoulders, I'd like you to draw your tailbone down towards the floor. So the bottom of your spine is pointed towards the floor as you open up your shoulders. Okay, hold this one back, please. Flip your palms up, press your thumbs back, lift your heart up. And exhale a lot. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Turn your palms towards me. Sweep your arms forward and place them on your thighs. Chair pose. So make your spine long, shoulders back. Straighten your legs. Bend your legs. Let's do this a few more times. So you're warming and circulating and lengthening your hamstrings, the back of your legs. Okay, one more time. Keep your knees bent and stand up tall. Let's roll through this very simple sun salutation a few more times, and then we'll turn our bodies to the side, okay? Thumbs to your shoulders. Inhale, reach up high, mountain pose. Draw your tailbone down, cactus your arms, lift your chest. Exhale. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, sweep your arms down, bend your knees, chair pose. Straighten your legs, bend your legs, and stand tall. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up, the mountain pose. Cactus your arms. Reach up high. Sweep forward, chair pose. Straighten your legs, bend your legs, stand tall. Okay, you can relax your toes, pedal out your feet a little bit. Now you might continue to face me. That might just be perfect. I'm going to turn to the side of my mat so that you can see all the movements, okay? All right. So step your feet together again. Please lift your toes up, spread them out wide, and find your roots. Bring your thumbs to your shoulders. Inhale, reach up high, mountain pose. Exhale, cactus your arms, draw your tailbone down. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, sweep your arms to your thighs, chair pose. Straighten your legs, bend your legs, and hold. Both hands come to your left leg. Step back with your right leg. Okay, so this is our high lunge position. You could find your roots on the front foot to keep you connected and a deep foot fold in the back. This is high lunge. Now lower your knee down, low lunge. If you'd like to, you can place your towel right underneath your knee, if that helps you to feel a little bit more comfortable, okay? So from this point on, use your towel whenever you need it to help you feel more comfortable, okay? And you can also use a block here to help steady you, okay? All right. So now here we are in low lunge. Bring your hands down to the floor and come back to tabletop posture with folded feet. Draw your tailbone under and round your lower back. And then lift it up just slightly. Let's do that one more time. Draw your tailbone under. Feel the stretch in your lower back. And then release. Now you're welcome to stay right here if you'd like to, or maybe you'll come up to plank, high plank posture. High plank would be to step back with both feet and hold. We'll only be here for a few moments. A deep foot fold and your weight bearing on your feet. Inhale and exhale. Lower to your knees once again. Gotta move my towel back. And now bring your chest in between your hands. Lower your chest all the way down. Chaturanga. Straighten your legs. Lengthen your legs, widen your legs, and point your toes. Bring your arms out in front of you. Draw your elbows into your chest. Draw your heart forward and lengthen your neck. So please create more space from your ears to your shoulders. Press your elbows down. This is our Sphinx pose. A deep breath in, a long exhale. Flip your palms and push yourself up and back into child's pose. And today we'll have a wide-legged child's pose. So take your knees very wide, allow your belly to sink down, and bring your forehead down onto your mat. Now if you can't quite reach your forehead to the mat, you can place a block underneath your head and rest your head there. Rock your head a little bit from side to side. And then relax in the center. Inhale. Exhale, melt your whole body down so that you feel heavy here. Inhale deeply. Exhale a lot. Okay, press yourself up to tabletop. If you have a block, you can move it off to the side. Fold your toes, foot fold. Hover your knees off the ground and then lift your hips, downward facing dog. Now in this posture, being upside down, this will increase our blood pressure, so it's very important for you to exhale very deeply. One more round of breath. Inhale, exhale. Now please lift your left foot off the ground, lift it up and lengthen your legs. See if you can point your toes. Now take a big step forward into a lunge. Now you might have stepped off your mat, and that's okay. Slide your right leg back, hold this position, and then scoot to your foot towards the front of your mat, and you can use your block to assist you here. The deep foot fold in the back. Now walk your hands up to your left leg. High lunge. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to your heart if you'd like to balance, and then twist towards your left. That's optional. If the twist challenges your balance too much, you don't need to twist. It's your decision. It's your call. Now your front toes root down. You are rooted, you are connected, and you are focused. Return back to the front, 2 hands on your thigh. Lift your hips up a little bit, and then we'll step towards the front of your mat. You might need to take more than one step, and that's okay. Step forward. Get grounded. Sit down chair pose. And stand up tall. Bring your hands to your heart at Namaskar. Prayer pose. This is the prayer mudra, and a mudra is a hand position, which we'll talk about in a little while. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale, reach up, the mountain pose. Exhale, lifted back bend, draw your tailbone down, lift your chest. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, sweep your arms down, chair pose. Both hands come onto your right leg. Step back with your left leg. High lunge. Foot fold in the back, roots in the front leg. Lower your back knee. Now we're in our low lunge. Inhale, exhale. Reach down to the floor with your hands. Step your right leg back, tabletop. Plant your hands. Draw your tailbone under and lift it up. Do that one more time. Under and up. Find a long spine, abdominals engaged. You can stay here if you'd like. Or you could hover your knees off the ground if you'd like. Or you can step back to high plank. It's your choice. Ready? Just maintain your foot fold. Let's take 2 rounds of breath. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Lower your knees to the floor. Align your chest or bring your heart in between your hands and lower your chest down towards the floor, and then slide your legs out. Your legs are long behind you, your toes are pointed, and your feet are out as wide as the mat. Now bring your forearms to the floor and draw your heart forward and tilt your chin up just a little bit. Allow your lower back to relax here. This is the Sphinx pose. Create a little more space between your earlobes and your shoulders by pressing down through your elbows. Okay, flip your palms down and push yourself up and back, child's pose. You could stay on that towel if you'd like. Wide-legged child's pose, so bring your toes together to touch. Reach your fingertips forward, and you might feel more comfortable if your fingers are propped up like this. You decide. You could keep your fingers up or hands flat. You might use a block underneath your head. Inhale. Exhale, say if you're using a block, please remove it now and press yourself back up to tabletop. And then align your feet with your knees. So your feet are directly behind your knees. Now fold your feet. Your toes are getting super flexible with all these foot folds. Exhale and engage your core muscles, your abdominals and all the muscles that wrap around your torso. And then hover your knees off the floor. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Allow your head to hang heavy, and please exhale deeply. Draw your chest a little bit closer to your thighs if that feels comfortable. And now lift your right leg off the floor. And I'd like you to make your leg straight. So you don't have to worry about how high you're lifting your leg, but try to point your toes. Now lift your eyes and look towards your hands and take a giant step forward with your right leg. And you might have landed off the mat, and that's okay. Just bring your foot in and then walk your hands up to your thigh to high lunge. Now maybe you'll take more than one step, or maybe it's one giant step. You decide. Both feet step in. Sit down chair pose. And now stand up tall. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. If you've turned sideways, then turn back towards me. Inhale and exhale. So I hope you feel as though your feet have gotten some attention. Now let's focus on our hands. I'd like you to flick your fingers a bunch of times. Flick, 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 flick. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your fingers as wide as you can. Like I mentioned before, we hold a lot of tension in between our fingers and toes. So now you can say, I release you now. Okay. Extend your arms and turn your palms towards you. And as you fold your wrist, you can look at the little lines at your wrist. Those are your bracelets. And we're going to roll through your bracelets, rolling your hands in and open. And now we'll return the other way. And now we'll interlace our fingers just like this. And if there's any tension left over, you could say, I release you now. So now we know how to release with our feet and connect with our feet and focus on our feet. Now you learned how to release with your hands. Now let's learn how to connect with our hands. Bring your index finger to your thumb. This is called a Gyan Mudra. Remember, mudra is a hand position. And in the yogic culture, it is well known that the Gyan Mudra can help to improve memory and concentration by virtue of just thinking about keeping your fingers together. I am improving memory and concentration. So we'll be using the Gyan Mudra during this next series to help you stay connected and focused. Okay? So Gyan Mudra, let me see. Okay, you can relax the other fingers. All right, relax your hands, shake them out. If your towel is still there, let's move your towel out of the way for our next sequence, the Moon Salutation. Okay, begin by bringing your feet together and lift your toes and spread them wide and ground down, get rooted. Inhale, reach up, the mountain pose. Your thumbs are pointed back. Interlace your fingers, point your index finger up. And now lean a little bit to the right and lean a little bit to the left. This is called the palm tree. And because you've got these nice deep roots now, you're just like a palm tree in the breeze. You're connected and you're rooted. You can bend without breaking. Come back to the center. Inhale. Exhale. Now, half moon to your left. Hold it here. Lifting up and out from your hip to your fingertip. A deep breath in. A long exhale. Inhale, come right back up. Now take a wide step out to your left. Point your toes to the corners of the room. And now sink down, drawing your elbows towards your torso, Gyan Mudra. Draw your tailbone down to the floor, and then make sure your knees are pointed over your toes. Concentrate, focus. You are connected. Inhale, exhale. Stand tall, reach your arms out wide. Star pose. Flip your palms up, Gyan Mudra. I am connected. I am focused. Now pivot your right foot. Pivot your left foot. Your left foot is pointed to the left side of the room. Your right foot is pointed towards me. And bend your knee a few times. These are our warrior feet, and you might need to adjust them so that you feel comfortable in this deep lunge. Now place your left hand onto your thigh and sweep your right arm up and create a straight line from your fingertip down to your hip and all the way down to your foot. Now I'd like you to open your fingers very wide. I release you now. Flip your palm towards the ceiling and sweep back a few times, mobilizing and circulating your shoulder. One more time. Open your legs up wide, hands to your thighs, hinge forward towards me, and now lunge from the right to the left. This is called Skandasana. Use your roots to keep you rooted, grounded, stable, and connected. Come to the center. Hinge back up. Goddess pose, Gyan Mudra. Star pose, Gyan Mudra. Bring your hands to your hips. Pivot your toes to the front. Bend your left leg. Straighten. Bend your right leg. Straighten. Bend your left leg. Step to the right so you'll push off. Bring your feet together. Sweep up. Half moon to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do that once again on the right side. Inhale, reach up the mountain pose. And now this time just go directly into palm tree right. Stretching from your fingertip to your hip. A deep breath in. A long exhale. Stand straight up. Step wide to the right. Toes pointed out, find your roots. Open up your arms, Gyan Mudra, Goddess pose. Draw your tailbone down, knees over your toes. Stand up, star pose. Reach from your fingers out to the sides of the room. Now pivot your feet, right foot to the right, left foot towards me. Your right hand comes to your thigh, extended side angle. Open your fingers very wide. I release you now. Sweep your arm up and back. 3, 2, and 1. Open up to Goddess pose. Place your hands on your thighs. Hinge forward and lunge from side to side. Just flowing easy, going with the flow. Back into the center, please. Hinge back up, draw your tailbone down, Gyan Mudra, goddess pose. Star pose. Bend to the right just a little bit. Bend to the left just a little bit. Bend to the right, and now you'll push off with your right leg. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Push off and come back. It's a big step. Bring your feet together. Inhale, stretch both arms up. Half moon to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And this is the prayer mudra. This is namaskar. Please step your feet wide. Find your roots. Find your prayer position. Paying attention to yourself and honoring your heart. A deep breath in and a long exhale. Well, today, you released, you connected, and you got focused. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top of that and say to yourself, self, I'm so proud of you for being here today. You're a slightly different person than you were just 30 minutes ago, and you are moving in the right direction. I'm proud of you for being here too, and I hope you had a good experience. Please join me again for another yoga flow sometime.